It is 12 noon across the great state of Alabama. Thanks for tuning us in. It looks like we potentially might have some interesting weather coming up this weekend.
Don't even say it. Don't do it, Pat.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying the S word.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
There it is. Now I'll have to go across town to get my 2% milk. 2% here lately.
Really?
Yeah. My wife drinks the 2%.
I thought you did the fancy milk.
I do the Fairlife.
Okay.
And they have the skim. They have the
milk.
whole, the sweet milk or the 2% milk. But the 2% milk's got a little bit more flavor.
How much milk do you go through a week?
Ooh, it's probably a half gallon. It's probably a half gallon about every day.
Half gallon every day.
It's too much.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. I thought I'd drink a lot.
I do not like milk.
I do like a gallon and a half, maybe 2 a week.
About a gallon a week.
Like, do you just drink it with breakfast or what?
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat Cheerios at night.
Yeah, it's a good snack.
Yep. Not Honey Nut Cheerios, not multigrain, just regular Cheerios. No sugar on top.
Wait, you do 2%?
Nice healthy snack.
You do 1%.
It just depends whatever my store has.
Right.
I'm not picky
most
about
people
milk.
drink 2%. I thought that was just like the universally
I just don't like skim.
most popular.
Yeah, I don't do skim either.
It's too watery.
That's water.
Yeah.
See, with a sandwich, I want milk.
How about some good old buttermilk? You
Oh,
want some
stop.
buttermilk?
Oh.
No. I bought my 1/4 buttermilk that I do every single year, and it was for New Year's. I do it with the collard greens and and I make the cornbread. But no, that was it. My grandmother used to drink would it eat or drink the buttermilk or chew the? I don't know.
My dad would drink the buttermilk and put cornbread in it.
Yeah, that's what my grandmother would do.
Yep.
I think Suge Jordan used to do that.
Did he really?
They'd say when you go over to Suge Jordan's house, writers would go over there, and a lot of times he was sitting there at the kitchen table with the cornbread and buttermilk.
My dad would enjoy a good old mayonnaise and tomato sandwich.
Oh, mayonnaise and tomato sandwich is good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a sneaky good sandwich. If you ever make some fried okra, Molly, you like fried okra.
Fried okra is my favorite food.
If you put the remains of the fried okra in a Ziploc bag, you get that shake there at the bottom. Put that shake on a sandwich with some mayonnaise. Little crunch to it.
I love fried okra. I don't like mayo though.
We'll get around the mayo.
It is noon. It is lunchtime, so that's why got off onto the sandwich front.
It's okay.
Also want to congratulate Conrad Van Order. He was just awarded with the Programming Employee of the Year here at Cumulus Broadcasting Birmingham. Congratulations. Well deserved.
It's amazing.
You too could win the award if you get gravy dumped on you.
They felt bad for you.
They did. It was a sympathy award, but
of all the things Landrum has done to you in this previous year.
You've been through a lot.
From the chip, the gravy, the running, the dancing,
all the sicknesses,
the
the pulled
the fish,
muscles, the heartache,
the failed food challenges.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
Wife gallivanting around with Bucky.
Was it worth it?
I wouldn't change it for anything.
Did you sob?
I did. I got a little emotional, just like when I was reading the Ty Simpson story.
Did you
Very
think?
similar
Did you
feeling.
thank the three of us?
No, I didn't have time.
I told you you wouldn't. I told you you wouldn't.
I had to thank Ryan and Damien and
so they
my
started.
wife.
A lot of butt kissing first.
They started playing the music, and you had to walk off stage.
I'm sorry.
So you're checking the box. You're like, "Thank you, Mary. Thank you."
That's right.
Everybody.
So no thank you to the people.
Did you think Faye?
That helped you prop you up.
Faye didn't make the cut, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Very typical.
Maybe next year. But thank you, seriously.
Won't be a repeat, I can promise you.
So maybe when Ty Simpson, when they go and they show him in his home after he gets selected in the first round by an NFL team, maybe Ty Simpson will not mention Alabama.
Maybe so. Maybe not.
And then you'll know how it feels.
That's right.
Speaking of Alabama, good news for them this morning. Alabama standout safety Keon Sabb and star edge rusher Yanze Pierre are both currently expected to stay with the Tide for 2026.
As is defensive lineman London Simmons.
Okay.
That was announced a few moments ago.
All right, so London Simmons can be added. So you had Bray Hubbard. You now have London Simmons, Keon Sabb, and Yanze Pierre. All of those individuals are indicating that they will be back on the defensive side of the ball for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Meanwhile, defensive end Jordan Renaud, he announced he is heading into the transfer portal. Yesterday, Alabama got Caleb Smith out of the transfer portal, defensive lineman from Washington. He committed to Alabama. He went to Parker High School, did not play for Washington this year, wasn't injured. He was just going to take a redshirt year. So he is coming home to play for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We mentioned Ty Simpson kind of joking around. He gave an interview yesterday with On 3 in which he said Tennessee, Miami, Ole Miss all offered him $4 million. And then, matter of fact, Miami circled back after they missed out on Sam Levitt, offered Ty Simpson $6.5 million. $6.5 million to play for the Canes. This is the direct quote from Ty Simpson. He says, Miami was kind of like, all right, we're moving on. And then they lost out on Sam Levitt and came back with that big number. And then Ole Miss called again and said they could match it. I just couldn't do it because of everything I stood for and what Alabama had meant to me and the legacy that I built here. So that was Ty Simpson declining an invitation to go elsewhere. Meanwhile, April Moore, who is the mom of Keelon Russell, one of the quarterbacks that will be battling for the starting position at the University of Alabama, she gave a lengthy interview yesterday with Bama 247. And she had some interesting things to say. I strongly recommend Brett Greenberg. He's the one that did the article. You need to go read it. Some interesting quotes from her. I was going to highlight a couple of them, including how she feels about Keelon DeBoer and how her son feels about Keelon DeBoer. Direct quote, unlike most people, fans who I have heard, Keelon loves him. You can quote me on that part. Keelon loves him. I know a lot of people do not or are not happy with him right now. I personally don't have an opinion one way or the other about him. I like him. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not on the field. I'm not in the headpiece. All I can look and say is that I think Keelon and Grubb have good chemistry. I think Keelon is going to listen to him and also think he's going to listen to Keelon. I think they can feed off of each other, end of quote.
That's good.
Glad he loves him.
She also said about the competition coming up between her son and Austin Mack. She says the following. He doesn't say he is going to war with Austin Mack. He says he's in competition with himself at this point. I think the media will pin them against each other, which they always do. His thing is, as good as Austin is, it's Keelon going against himself. He says that they're feeding off of each other and using things off of each other. I don't think he sees this as a competition with Austin.
Okay.
So you like what you hear there?
You're saying the right things.
Okay.
You're saying the right things. You are competing against him and you don't hate him, but you want to win the job.
April Moore also went on to say that they obviously were contacted multiple times during the season, which is no surprise. But
yeah,
it does beg the question. Let's just say in Tennessee, still at this hour, searching for a transfer portal quarterback after whiffing on everybody that they had on their list. If they called Austin Mack, if you're Austin Mack, do you make that move?
I would say, are we talking the $5 million you offered to Ty, or what's that number?
No, you're going to come here and you're going to be, look, Austin, the other guys that we have, future, sure. We need somebody to come in and play quarterback this year. You're our guy. $2 million. Come on.
I mean, I think it would probably be tempting, but at the same time, I imagine he probably got offers like that.
I would imagine so too.
And I would think that probably Nick Sheridan said, hey, if you want to come to Michigan State, this is what we can offer you.
I'm coming at it from the standpoint of Keelon Russell. Everybody knows, and I'm sure Austin Mack has heard plenty of buzz from people. It's no secret that this guy is the next thing. That's why they went and got him. So if you're Austin Mack, you only have so many years of football left. Well, you get an opportunity to go and start an offense.
Well, I think the key to all of this is the verbiage that we saw on Friday, which was released by Yay Alabama, that they have been signed.
Right.
That it was not, hey, I'm verbally committing to come back next year. And we've seen that just because you have a signed piece of paper doesn't mean that these kids might not have somebody in their ears saying, hey, we can get you out of that. Just go ahead and go. But I think that makes Alabama feel pretty good knowing that they've got
being
both
like
of
a
those
DeMond
guys.
Williams type situation,
right.
potentially.
Yeah.
And we saw how that worked out.
Well, and that's the problem that you run into. And this is not an Alabama problem, it's a Tennessee problem. But if you're Josh Heupel right now, a lot of these schools may be getting burned in past portals where a guy said, yeah, I'm committed, and then all of a sudden late he signs paperwork with somebody else. No, when they're getting that commitment, they're getting, in most cases, I think the signature right then.
So then the question is,
it's one more deterrent.
If you're Tennessee right now, you got to have, you're looking for that veteran quarterback. They're going to have to coax somebody that is currently at a school to go into the transfer portal before midnight on Friday, potentially, if you're going to get somebody. And so then that begs the question, if you're looking around, if you just look at the SEC, the Bo Pribulas of the world, I mean, they've already gone elsewhere. You know, have they signed the paperwork? You know, Virginia. You look around, as DJ Lagway, has he
flirted
signed
with Ole Miss?
See,
I mean, has he signed his paperwork with Baylor? I mean, that's what you're looking at now.
But it's become so transactional. The thing that I would be very concerned about if I was a Tennessee fan is I have an offense like they have at Tennessee. I have Josh Heupel, a former quarterback who is well respected amongst coaches. And all of these top guys coming out of the portal, and you haven't gotten one.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's a situation because what was the thing we heard with Nico last year, right? He wanted reassurance that they were going to get certain guys or bring in certain weapons so that he felt like he could have the best opportunity to succeed. And maybe, you know, the guys that they've talked to, they just look at LSU or whoever and go, I think I might have a better chance of success there. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Tennessee fan, you probably are scratching your head like, why wouldn't you want to play in this? I mean, did any of us expect, and he wasn't the best quarterback ever. Joey Aguilar far exceeded my expectations this year. He was very good. I mean, he was, I think, second in passing yards in the SEC.
Well, you were downstairs sucking up and getting an award, but we were talking about the San Jose State quarterback. He was number 2 in the Mountain West last year in passing, only behind the Hawaii quarterback. But he was ahead of now Molly's new quarterback at Nebraska, who was at UNLV.
Yeah.
He is the highest rated quarterback, and I think he's 252 overall in the entire portal. And I forgot what you said quarterback-wise, Landrum, where he was, but that's what you're looking at. He's a senior.
I mean, I'm guessing he's probably, the 40th best quarterback
His
in the
first
portal?
season was 2021. He's a California kid.
So that's what Tennessee's looking at.
Yeah.
Unless you can try to find that guy that you're going to overpay for. But there's not a Ty Simpson that's available out there.
Well, I was about to say, those guys are either already recommitted to their schools or you're going to have to roll the dice on somebody like you kind of did with Aguilar this past year.
I just look at these schools that are gobbling up these other guys that you wouldn't have seen maybe slotted as a Tennessee starter, but leaving nothing to chance, just stocking up that quarterback room. And I think in a lot of cases,
I'm not saying this because she's sitting 2 feet away from me, but I'm serious. Like, I would call Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
And I would be like, hey, have you signed something at Oregon? We'll pay you $5 million right now, and you will be our starting quarterback. You're going to Oregon because you're going to be Moore's backup for a year, and then you're going to be the dude. Like, you can be the dude right now, and you come and you put up those just incredible numbers at Tennessee under that offense, then all of a sudden you're having a whole different conversation about his draft status for next year.
Yeah, or if he wants to come back and then go to Oregon and get paid
go for it.
$7 million a year
go for
or whatever,
it.
he could do that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's, again, if you're a Tennessee fan, wow, guys want to go be a back. Longstreet, the kid from USC, he's going to LSU. He's going to be a backup. Like, you're missing out on guys that are willing to go sit a year in another program instead of coming and being your guy this year.
We're doing somebody's job on that Tennessee staff that's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to find them a quarterback. Is Jake Retzloff, does he have another year of eligibility or is he up? He's a redshirt senior.
I don't know.
Just looking for viable options. I'm very concerned.
I mean, I know it breaks a lot of people's heart in our audience
I know.
that Tennessee's struggling to find someone that will go play quarterback.
Aaron Philo is 202, so that's the kid from Georgia Tech that transferred to Florida, the quarterback, overall, according to On3. But this kid that we're talking about from San Jose State
right?
is 262, I think.
262.
Retzloff does have another year.
He does. Has he signed his deal?
I'm not sure about that, but he does have another year.
254 for
He was
Walker
a junior.
I tell you what, that's another.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different style of quarterback, right? He's going to want to run the ball a little more, but I think Josh Heupel, as good of an offensive mind as he is, could probably make that work pretty well.
Well, the definition that most Tennessee people that cover the program, I mean, they need a veteran presence in that quarterback room and someone that they feel can be the guy this year. And all the guys, they've got a 5-star guy that's going to be on campus later this month. And they've already got one guy, very young guy, that's there now that they just don't feel comfortable handing the reins over to.
Yeah, they're 5-star kid.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Tennessee had gotten a guy like Devin Dampier in that offense? Woo!
I just go back and, going back to the Ty Simpson story, and I don't know if y'all went back and talked about it, but part of it at the end was he was talking about, well, at any point, did you almost transfer in the past at Alabama? And he brought up how last year, if Nico had transferred in the winter instead of the spring, he was going to go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because he grew up a Tennessee fan. That was, that was his thing. But he didn't want to go and be the backup there. He said, I'd rather be the backup at Alabama. So if you're Tennessee, are you not going, God, not only did you screw us over last year, you could be screwing us over for this year because, Tennessee with Ty Simpson, that'd be probably pretty spectacular.
Now, George McIntyre, he is the quarterback that they have right now that they
most ready to go.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
And there's not a lot.
But that
more
is,
than Faison.
That is that is the guy. So,
he's going to be a household name next year.
Because here's the other problem for Heupel. In my opinion, because all right, they're bringing in Jim Knowles as your defensive coordinator.
Oh, there's pressure this year.
He is going to be what Hugh Freeze was last year. And a lot of people are going to say that's not really fair because he took Tennessee to the college football playoff. Well, it's just like if Keelon DeBoer has a 8-5 season this next year, then we're having that conversation the year after about Keelon DeBoer on the hot seat. I think Heupel is definitely on a hot seat for this next year.
So entering the season, would you say that Heupel is on a hotter seat than Keelon DeBoer?
Yes.
Would you say he's on the hottest seat? Well, no, you'd probably put Shane Beamer up there. But one of the hotter seats in the conference going into the year.
Yes.
But I'm like Pat. I think most of these ADs, they look at it as like a 3-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And so they look at that period of 3 years. So Josh Heupel is going to be heading into year 6. And it was great, the 10-3 playoff year, but then you followed up with an 8-5. You do it up another 8-5.
It's interesting because I'm sitting here looking at one of the Tennessee message boards and some of the names that their fans were throwing up on their message boards. These guys have been taken out of the portal the last 24 hours. They brought up Walker Howard's name.
Yeah.
We were joking.
Another guy that wants to go be a backup.
Yeah, we were joking around yesterday about Eli Holstein. He's a Virginia.
Yeah, he goes to Virginia from Pitt. Yeah. TJ Finley, in case you missed it, is it incarnate word?
Yeah.
Has he signed his deal?
Jeepers.
But going back
on behalf of the SEC, let's just not let Tennessee take him.
They'd be really bad. It'd be really funny. But even going to your point though, of who's the guy that you even would think of going out there and
trying to coax?
There's nobody left. Everybody that was going to do that, like the USC kid, that already happened.
But that's the same conversation you're having about Miami. I don't know Miami's roster like I know Tennessee's roster, but every report I've seen this morning is that Miami's in the same boat as Tennessee. That they are going to have to coax someone that is sitting at school right now in a quarterback room, and you're going to have to say, listen, get in the transfer portal, and we're going to overpay for you.
I have a prediction. This year with the transfer portal being one portal, right? We don't have the 2 windows. My prediction is we get some really, really big names last second.
Like on Friday, you think so? Maybe so.
Because you get a Tennessee in a situation where they have to, and maybe if you're a big enough name, it doesn't matter, but for somebody's about to get paid.
Yeah.
But these coaching staffs, Pat, knowing that there's not another portal period in the spring, and that guy in that position group or getting that edge rusher, that's the piece you're missing. You've got to have that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to overpay for him.
You're going to have to.
Can you go and get, because I think this was last year when they got Avery Johnson, not going to knock anybody's socks off, but a solid guy with experience. Is that the guy you can go and get? But like you said, you're probably overpaying for a guy like that. That could put you in another bad situation.
We will continue on this Wednesday edition of 3-Man Front on We got some bad storms a couple of days ago, and if you notice around your property, got no leaves on the trees unless you got pine trees. If you got some problems potentially on your lot, whether in trees that could fall onto your house or maybe in your driveway, hit your car if you park outside, Golston Tree 43, Golston's licensed pros, they handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals. They're fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until the next storm causes damage around your house. Call Golston Tree Service. They can also offer 24-hour emergency tree service. So when it comes to your trees, don't risk it. Call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443.
205-834-9450 on the Jocks text line. A lot of your texts that we will get to on the conversation of milk, buttermilk, cornbread. Cornbread and buttermilk is fantastic, especially Mexican-style bread with the jalapenos. DJ, thank you for the text. Love some good Mexican cornbread.
Buttermilk's just so heavy.
Yes.
Just sits there.
It's quite heavy. Be like drinking paint.
Honestly, yeah. That's what I imagine it would be like.
When I used to drink paint. That's what I remember.
I thought you just sniffed it.
Paint chips.
Yeah.
Safer. Joe in Birmingham, I see TJ Finley is on his 7th school. He must be paying schools by now just to be on a football team. Did learn yesterday that TJ Finley actually earned his degree from Auburn.
That is the best decision he has made in his entire college career, because that's a great degree to have.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that I was trying to remember this morning. He's the one that created the clothing line, right? Didn't he have like some merch?
While he had merch on Amazon.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
it was the Chosen One merch.
That's it.
You had a throw pillow, hoodie.
I just remember there were some items like it wasn't just T-shirts. It was like water bottles or something. It was
his big launch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also want to point out, and I know a lot of you out there, I mean, I think 3 of the 4 of us have Verizon as our cell carrier, and they are having massive national outages. So hopefully you're listening to us on the radio, or you're watching, if you have different Wi-Fi service, that you're watching us on YouTube. But yeah, it's not just you or you got an individual phone problem. It is a nationwide major network outage for Verizon.
Can you hear me now? Hopefully we'll get that thing fixed. We'll continue.
It's portal time. We have to have access to our phones.
I know. Bobby, LSU fan, Kiffin's just flexing on everybody with the Longstreet kid committing out of the portal. If Levitt is healthy before the season, LSU might have a case for one of the best quarterback rooms in the country. Also, what's the deal with George McIntyre at Tennessee? He was the number 2 quarterback in the country coming out of high school, right behind Bryce Underwood. He's still on the roster.
Yeah, he's still there. I just think that they're looking for that veteran guy. I don't know if he was the number 2 quarterback.
It's Keelon Russell.
Well, Keelon actually took over. He took over the number 1 spot from Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah.
Someone offering, didn't solicit it. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. will be back next year also.
Yes, he announced that on social media yesterday.
This one rolling in. I'm a Tennessee fan, and I absolutely would not want Raiola there. I can't stand watching him on the field. He's just a Mahomes wannabe.
But what if he could be Mahomes? Then everybody wants him.
Everybody wants to be. Yeah. Said in Birmingham, whatever happened to developing who you recruited? If you got a 4 or 5-star quarterback that's been in Tennessee's system a year, you'd think he'd be ready. This NIL era is ridiculous, but it's the pressure you get from your peers that you work around, and they're not taking time to develop guys. And if you do, you're going to be out of a job.
I do wonder, this might be an interesting discussion for another day, but I do wonder, right, are there instances of a school maybe paying a player that they're not necessarily, maybe they're not totally in love with, but to prevent them from going to a rival school?
There are claims that that's what a lot of college coaches used to do back in the day. In fact, Bear Bryant would offer a scholarship or maybe a spot to a kid to keep him from going to a rival school.
Well,
which
I'm just thinking,
is smart and within the rules.
I was about to say, I'm thinking Lane goes, okay, so this Longstreet kid could go to Tennessee and start.
It
well, maybe I pay him, just twist the knife a little bit to the Vols again.
Also, with the Levitt injury,
you do need somebody for the first maybe month of the season.
Having some reassurance.
Yeah, good to have.
Is it safe to say that the transfer portal is more important than recruiting?
I guess in terms of immediate impact on a roster, yeah.
I guess it depends on need.
I think you still need the foundation to be recruiting, but I think from year to year.
I think data is starting to prove that it's not as important as it used to be. Because here's the thing. Let's say you get a top 5 class and you bring them onto campus. Honestly, how many of those 23, 25 kids that you bring to campus will be on your roster the next year
if you could have
them being in the portal?
I think it's a win if you have 75% that make it through 2 seasons.
You could even make the argument that sometimes it might be more beneficial to be like the second place team in recruiting, because then, a year or two down the line when they're developed already, why don't you come here? You wanted to 2 years ago and now you're ready to play. Let's do it.
Don has texted in, hey, everyone. So no new transfer news yesterday. I think visits open back up tomorrow. As of now, my Auburn Tigers 247 ranking is 15th, 6th in the SEC. Meanwhile, my friend Conrad, the good old Bammers, are 35th and 15th, next to last. What's going on, my friend? I felt like you should have read that. It seemed more like you and Don.
You could have retorted that and said, what was Auburn's recruiting ranking?
Yeah.
On signing day as compared to Alabama's.
I'm just glad Auburn fans have something to finally be excited about. Been a minute.
So is Sharman.
We're going to try to call Trey Wallace. He is mixed up in this whole Verizon wireless snafu. Hopefully we can
page him.
Get in touch with him. I think he went to a grocery store and texted me off their Wi-Fi. I'm serious. That's what he texted me. I didn't even know anything about what was happening until he texted me. And
remember we did the store from the show from the grocery store.
Which one?
Well, they set us up next to the place where they store the carts, and then every one of the cashier's lines was full, and it was just all day beep.
Oh,
beep,
it was,
beep,
yeah, it was
beep.
nonstop.
Stand in the walk-in freezer to cool off.
Yeah, yeah, good times, good old times. All right. nationwide problem. I understand that Trey Wallace, when trying to connect with him, he is at a gas station Wi-Fi trying to see if he could get his phone working. We're not having very much success, but we will a chance to talk to Trey today. We'll most definitely catch up with him in the next day or two.
I just want that picture. Is the gas station attendant like, sir, you must buy something?
Yeah, you got to buy some peanuts, RC Cola. You got to buy something.
Why are you hanging around the ATM for the last 45 minutes? Just standing there.
Last night in hoops, Bama, they win big over Mississippi State, 97-82. Philon had a career high 32 points, only played 33 minutes, career high 22 points for Aiden Sherrill. Bama had a late 17-3 run late in the first half that really turned the game around. Bama had a 60-point performance in the second half. That's the 9th straight win against the Mississippi State Bulldogs for Alabama. That's the second longest winning streak versus an SEC opponent. They've beaten South Carolina 10 times. Bama now 12-5, 2-2 in the SEC. They got Oklahoma coming up on Saturday. And then it's a week off, which, as Chris Stewart told us, in the 11 o'clock hour, it's going to be a well-needed rest for the Tide. They only had 8 scholarship players playing last night.
Just floating this out there, because next Saturday they were playing in Coleman against the Tennessee Volunteers. I think they should honor Ty Simpson at halftime of that game.
That would be funny. That would be good.
Just a little fun there for the athletic department.
That would be. Tennessee got a big win last night against your team, your wife's team, the Texas A&M Aggies. Bucky Ball finally loses a game in the Southeastern Conference, 87-82 in double overtime, and it was Florida knocking off Oklahoma 96-79. Now tonight on Jocks, 6 o'clock, you can hear the tip time as the Auburn Tigers take on the Missouri Tigers in Como. Auburn is coming off that impressive 22-point win over Arkansas. Keyshawn Hall, man, what a week last week. Averaged 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He's averaging nearly 22 points per game, which is the 12th most in all of college basketball. That's been a huge pickup for the Auburn Tigers. Since Auburn has started league play in the SEC, they lead the conference in scoring, averaging 94 points a game. They're currently 36 in the net rankings. They're number 4 in the strength of schedule in the country. Missouri, though, beware, they are 10-0 at home this year, so it should be a good game. 6 o'clock tip here on Jocks.
And that line has moved. It was Auburn 1.5. Now it's Auburn 1 with a point total of 153.
Feels like the over might be the way you would lean on that one.
Might be a good one.
I don't think scoring was ever going to be an issue for this Auburn team. It was defense.
Yeah, and that's where you've seen the issues.
I'll say much like Alabama, same thing.
Yeah,
because score at a high rate, you also let the other team do that.
So it is inevitable what you're going to see on Monday and then on Tuesday after the College Football National Championship game. Folks are going to be debating. Let's say Indiana takes Miami to the woodshed. Go undefeated. Everyone is immediately going to start saying, all right, folks.
This is the way to go about it.
This is the best team in the history of college football ever, based on what they were able to do. Well, CBS Sports, they have come out with their list. They ranked every national champion of the college football playoff era ahead of Monday night's game. So this does not take into account what Indiana could or could not do on Monday night. This is their top 10. See how many of these you agree with or you disagree with, according to CBS, in the college football playoff era. At number 10, the very first one, Ohio State, 2014.
Yeah.
They went 14-1.
Was that the Oregon year?
It was.
Yep.
Coming in at number 9, 2017 Alabama. They went 13-1. The title game itself was almost the most legendary moments in the CFP's first decade. Nick Saban elected to put in freshman Tua Tagovailoa in place of Jalen Hurts at halftime against Georgia. We all know what happened at the end of that game. So they say that that is the 9th best team in the college football playoff era.
I'm okay with it right now until you tell me the other.
I was about to say, just off the top of my head, I would have the 2015 and 2020 ahead of them. So, yeah. Fair enough.
Coming in at number 8, the 2015 Alabama that went 14-1. And they won that classic game out in the desert 45-40 against the Clemson Tigers. The one of the most underrated calls. Everyone's going to remember having the call of Nick Saban of taking Jalen Hurts out for Tua Tagovailoa, but the onside kick call
Oh, that's the most beautiful special teams play I've ever seen outside of maybe the kick six.
So they've got 2017 Alabama 13-1 at number 9. At number 8, 2015 Bama, that was 14-1. Coming in at number 7, just a couple years ago, the 2023 Michigan Wolverines.
They should be number 10 by default because they cheated.
15-0. That was Michigan, but according to Conrad, they cheated.
They did cheat.
Coming in at number 6, last year's national champion Ohio State at 14-2.
Okay.
They say that they should be given extra credit because they had to navigate the challenges of an expanded 12-team playoff.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I might have them a little higher.
I'm
honestly.
just reading it.
Paid by the word.
I might bump them up.
Coming in at number 5, the 2021 Georgia Bulldogs at 14-1. After falling short of a heartbreaking fashion against Alabama in the 2017 college football playoff title game, the 2018 SEC championship game, and then again in 2021 SEC championship game, Kirby Smart's Georgia program finally got their breakthrough. Who else? By beating Nick Saban.
Okay.
They're number 5. At number 4, another Georgia team, 2022.
Yeah.
15-0. What some people claim to be one of the greatest defenses in the history of college football.
I'm just trying to figure out who number 3 is, who I'm forgetting here. Oh, I know who it is. Okay.
Coming in at number 3, the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
2018. They went 15-0. It was the first team in college football history to go 15-0 since 1897.
The invention of the Roy bus.
Mm-hmm. The whipping of Tua Tagovailoa out in Santa Clara, 44-16.
He was hurt.
Okay.
It was hot.
Coming in
Yeah,
at
real
number
muggy.
2 and number 1, we got a little debate here. Number 1 and number 2.
Number 2.
Who's your number 2? Which would then, I think, most people understand who the number 1 team would be.
I just want to see the matchup. I want to see LSU 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see IU
Okay, but keep in mind, this list
from past years.
does not take into account what Indiana could or could not do this upcoming Monday.
Okay. So we go LSU.
If you go LSU number 2, who's number 1? In your opinion.
Oh.
And you might think LSU in 2019 is the best team in the college football playoff era.
They would either be number 1 or number 2. I'm trying to think of who the other would be though.
2020 Bama.
Okay.
Who's 1 and who's 2?
I think they will have LSU 1 and Bama 2. I think Alabama, I would give them the lean because they played an only SEC schedule that year.
Okay, how about you, Molly?
I'm going LSU 1 and Bama 2.
Okay.
No love for Michigan.
According to CBS Sports in their rankings, the number 2 team in the college football playoff era, this team finished with a 15-0 record. They had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Joe Burrow, the LSU Bengal Tigers, number 2, according to CBS. And number 1, the 2020 Alabama Crimson Tide, according to CBS Sports, was the greatest college football champion in the CFP era. It says, everyone has their own way of trying to qualify the results of a disjointed 2020 season impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And while some programs have results that are overlooked, excused, or even given an asterisk, I think it would be irresponsible to dock Alabama points in the conversation of all-time greats when the Crimson Tide had to deal with so many things, hiccups, irregularities as everyone else in the COVID-19. 5 Alabama players were unanimous All-Americans. 2 were Heisman Trophy finalists, and Devontae Smith made history as the first wide receiver to win the award since Desmond Howard. A 52-46 shootout against Florida. They played an all-SEC schedule, and they killed Ohio State. To them, they're the number 1 team in the CFP era.
So you're telling me that's more impressive than navigating a national championship year with Coach O as your head coach?
He didn't coach anything that year. they were just so good.
Say a lot of obstacles.
I think, and obviously I'm younger than y'all, and so y'all would go back and there's probably other teams. I would just say, for my money, I think that Alabama team, that's the best college football team I've ever seen in my life, and I would love to see them in 2019 LSU play. That would have been awesome. But yeah, I mean, you had 3 of the top 5 vote getters in the Heisman on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure
they
did.
were loaded.
Sure were. And it was interesting because, I mean, Florida gave them the toughest game.
Yeah.
In the SEC championship game. And then they went to because I will tell you, I knew some players that were on that 2020 Alabama team, and I was privy to a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And we don't talk about it enough, but what those teams went through because of COVID and because of the things that, I mean, just the
doing everything from home.
I mean,
testing.
It was, and not to mention the fact that you had a kid that would get COVID, and then is it a cold? Is it really COVID? And you had to be positive a certain amount of tests or negative before you're able to come back. I was just
Nick Saban missed the Iron Bowl, right?
He missed the Iron Bowl, Steve Sarkisian. And you remember early in the season he had a false positive. They thought Nick Saban had COVID, and then he didn't have COVID.
It's so wild to think about COVID year because even with the broadcast team, even though I knew I wasn't making the trip, I still had to go and take a COVID test just in case somebody came up positive.
Well, I can tell you this, and I don't think I'm telling you this out of school, but I know that Landon Dickerson and a group of those offensive linemen, they were very quick to point out early on that year that they grabbed some old workout equipment and they basically set it up in someone's garage in Tuscaloosa.
Yes, they did.
And their number one goal was that the offensive line, they were still going to lift weights and they were still going to do their thing. And you know what? Herd mentality. If we get it, let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get it early.
Yeah.
And get it out of the way. And if it strikes again, hopefully we've got enough antibodies. That was their mentality. They were like, we are not going to let this sidestep this team that we have. And that's exactly what happened.
I mean, getting roster reports, we're not going to be able to play on a Wednesday because you just had guys that having teams because they were just dreadfully bad, had nothing to do with COVID, that were using COVID as an excuse to get out of games. What a mess that was.
No, it was,
but you're right. There's a lot to navigate in that 2020 year.
Yeah. So I appreciate what CBS Sports wrote. You cannot
split hairs.
You cannot put an asterisk on that season because that was enough that you played a 10-game SEC schedule. But then you had
Never been done before.
But then you had to navigate everything because of what the government was trying to do to shut down the society and not allow you to do the thing that you should be able to do. So we will continue on Football Wednesday. We're talking portal, other things with the CFP coming up on Monday night. This is 3-Man Front on Jocks. 1252 here on Jocks. We welcome your calls at 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line, too. You've heard me for some time now telling you about Abide Roofing. And so when it comes to protecting your home or business, you need a roofing team that truly abides by quality. Abide Roofing solutions for every need, your family home, your commercial building, whatever you got. They deliver custom work that fits your style and your situation. I had some issues a couple years ago. Thought it was just a couple loose shingles. Unfortunately for me, I had bigger issues. I had leaking into my attic, which then got into my house, so it damaged my sheetrock in my kitchen. But that's okay. I called Travis Lloyd at 205-577-7338 at Abide Roofing. He came out, he got on the roof, and then he dealt with my insurance company. And that's big because they're the insurance claim masters. So they can help you navigate the process and get you the coverage that you deserve. They've got 25 years of trusted experience. You'll get the best warranties. You get the peace of mind. There's those no-cost consultations and estimates to get you started. So customers, if you're in the mood or if you're in the need for a new roof or you got some damages that need to be addressed, they can take care of that for you. Call them today, 205-577-7338, or visit abideroof.com.
And keep you up to date, just a little bit of news out of the transfer portal. LSU has added a former 5-star quarterback from USC and Houston Longstreet. So they add Longstreet to the quarterback room that already consisted of Sam Levitt. So things looking up for Lane Kiffin as far as his portal adds. Meanwhile, Tennessee, that's been the big story here. And it kind of does tie into Ty Simpson at Alabama and the reports of what he was offered, not only by Miami, but also by Tennessee. And Tennessee's still searching for a quarterback at this hour. And that is a problem because, as we've had to remind some of our Great Jocks listeners, there's only one portal window now, not two. So it can't be a, hey, evaluate things after spring. Let's see where things sit. You got to make your decision now. So you could see some entries late into the portal for the guys who don't have signed legal documents. Some might try even if they do. But Josh Heupel in Tennessee desperately trying to add to that room for next season with the uncertainty of Joey Aguilar in the balance there with the NCAA.
Yeah, it looks like Miami and Tennessee both are going to have to try to coax someone into the portal and probably overpay for someone with not quite the experience that they were offering Ty Simpson. Tennessee was offering $4 million.